I'm really afraid of the future that my son is going to face. My youngest son was born on October 5th, and 3 days later, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change came out with their report saying that we have 12 years. That's now 11 years to make that turnaround, and he doesn't get to vote. He doesn't get a say in what the world is going to look like when he is my age or even just a teenager.
Charles Campbell is a founding member of Parents for Climate. The community group seeks bold climate action, but they began their work at the school district level to reduce emissions in schools.
I just feel like addressing climate change is now what's necessary in terms of preparing the future for our kids. I think in Canada we like to pretend that we're not going to get hit that hard by it, but we are.
In Climate Watch, Canada is warming up twice as fast as the rest of the world.
Holy f***, feel how hot that is?
Oh my goodness, I would go fast.
Who's at high risk for flooding in this country? An estimated 1.7 million Canadian households.
The iconic polar bears of southern Hudson Bay gone from these parts, unless the planet begins to cool.
We're on the threshold of disaster, really, if we don't truly address this. So I really need to see a politician that is serious about trying to manage that change and mitigate the effects of climate change so the future is possible.
If you imagine what you would like Victoria to look like, how would this place be different?
When I imagine a Victoria with a green hand in it, I think about these buses behind us. We wouldn't be hearing them. They would be quiet because they'd be electric buses. Hopefully, by and large of all the late model vehicles going by would be electric or some level of a hybrid. That we'd see more buses and less vehicles on the road, that we'd see more pedestrians.
The Green Party considers Victoria their third best chance at another federal seat. And they've placed their bets that this first-time Indigenous candidate will be the one to fill it. The Greens already have 2 seats on the island, Paul Manley from Nanaimo Ladysmith, and of course, in Saanich Gulf Islands, Green Party leader Elizabeth May. So here, in southern Vancouver Island, in what the party calls their base, is where they hope to start a green wave this election.
If the Greens don't make a further breakthrough on the island, what will that mean for the Green Party of Canada?
Oh, that's a great question to ask Elizabeth.
I can't even conceive of that happening. Victoria, particularly given that there is no incumbent here. Russell Coy is a very impressive candidate. And next door, I mean, there is an incumbent, Macdonald, but David Murner's doing a terrific job connecting with people. So I don't think we've hit some sort of ceiling on Vancouver Island at all. So I'm not sure our message only resonates here, but getting elected on southern Vancouver Island is now something that nobody thinks is unusual, right? But I think we're going to be electing people in places that surprise a lot of people across the country.
Why do green values resonate so deeply here? University of Victoria student Juliet Watts is passionate about climate. She says voters here take great pride in preserving the island's natural beauty.
We have this divest sign from a climate strike that I went to. Our youth climate strike here in Victoria has a large presence, and the first Friday of every month they strike in front of the legislature. There's up to and usually more than 300 children there. We're also quite a climate-focused city, and we love our natural forests here on the island and really appreciate our clean waters. And our endangered killer whale population is surprisingly an election issue. The increased tanker traffic would further damage the ecosystem in which those killer whales inhabit, and that's just not something that the people of Victoria are going to vote for.
Victoria has been an NDP riding since 2006. Laurel Collins, a city councillor, hopes to keep it that way. She's another new face in this race after the incumbent MP Mary Rankin decided to step down. She's working hard to hold on to the riding for the party.
Yeah, we have one more block to go.
How do you create space between yourselves and the Green when your two platforms seem so similar?
When I talk about what we really stand for as New Democrats, it's really about realizing that these challenges that we face are interconnected, and we need policies that are going to actually address them as the interconnected challenges that they are. I don't want a climate plan that, in any way leaves people behind.
I don't like to leave people behind. Anything we put forward is about long-term viability. And viability is not just what we're most known for, climate, but also whether it's economy or sustainability or health, well-being. And that's something that I know will never waver with the Greens.
With similar platforms, Watts sees the two parties as the only viable voting options for her this election.
A lot of young people voted for Justin Trudeau and his Liberal Party with the hopes that they would do better, that they would really change like they promised that they would. I believe the people here are frustrated by the inaction on climate by the Liberals, and we've seen them approve the pipeline, and I think that we expected more.
What would you say to individuals, and we've heard this from real people on the street, people door knocking, we've heard the other candidates say this, that the Liberals just can't be trusted on the environment, that yes, while you might have put a price on carbon, the government at the same time said yes to the Trans Mountain pipeline, even purchased the pipeline. How can we trust a government that kind of speaks from both sides of its mouth on this issue?
You've probably heard the Prime Minister say that he believes that you can work on the environment and the economy at the same time.
Macdonald says the Liberals shouldn't be discounted from the race in Victoria, and that the party has a record on the environment that they're proud of.
So twinning an existing pipeline like Trans Mountain is not inconsistent at all with protecting the environment. And there's been a lot of hard work that's been done in terms of ocean protection, marine safety, to ensure that whatever impact it might have on the environment is being mitigated.
I live every day with this weight of a warming climate and a changing climate on my shoulders. And I wish that I felt that my representatives reflected that feeling. This is an issue for young people because it's what we're growing into. It's not only the world that we'll pass on to our children, but it's the world that we are inheriting as well.
I've always believed that climate change is real and something that we have to address, but I think part of my mind has always been like, oh, somehow it'll work out. And it's not just going to work out, we have to make it work. We have to make things work for us. If we let things go the way they're going, we're in serious trouble.